Welcome to the Manuchehri podcast. Over the last 30 years, it has been my joy to assist humanity in aligning with their magnificence so they may heal, discover their natural gifts, and communicate with loved ones living on the other side. May you also experience delight while we dance in the powerful, intuitive world of energy. Let's get going. Welcome to Where Energy Meets the Divine. I'm your host, Manuchehri. Before we go to the phone lines, and if you've been listening to this podcast, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been, I answer callers' questions. People leave a voicemail through my website. You can go to energyintuitive.com and leave me a voicemail. I think it's under 3 minutes that you can talk. And then eventually I will get to it and answer it for you. So before we do that, I want to talk again about my favorite topic. And I'm hoping that you're not bored or tired of this topic. I think it's crucial and important. I think it's one of the reasons why we've reincarnated into the physical realm. And that is about manifesting, learning how to manifest in this 3D reality that we are exploring and learning from and playing, hopefully playing in the third dimensional world. It's a really beautiful world. So learning how to play here is a gift. When we are creating what we want consciously, that means we are consciously aware of what we desire, and we're consciously making decisions to allow that thing that we desire to come into this third dimensional space so we can participate with it, whatever that is. It could be health. It could be more wealth. It could be love, happiness, careers. A big one, especially since the collective consciousness is in alignment to discover and live through work that is fulfilling and allows our natural gifts and talents to come through. This is what we're doing collectively. That's probably why it's one of the number one questions I receive on any platform I'm allowing, or the people I'm teaching with are allowing people to ask questions. It's one of the most popular questions that people have. What's my career? Because they are working in a field that they don't like, or they've quit working because they weren't liking it and they want to move into another area, but they don't know what it is. So when it comes to manifesting, if there's an area of your life that you are working on manifesting, that means, again, creating it, allowing it to come through and be a part of your life, and it's not happening, this has a lot to do with your neurological system. That's why some of the best teachers on the planet, most of them are dead. At least from my experience, I really love the older spiritualists like John Randall Price, Neville Goddard. I like those type of teachers. I like the way they speak. I like the words that they use because they aren't as modern. And so my mind can't fight it as much. It's almost like, what was that word? And so it allows me to disconnect from overthinking, analyzing, and processing. So what a lot of great teachers who teach about manifesting talk about is you need to feel that it's already happened. And we can quickly manifest things that we allow or we inspire our autonomic system to be calm about. When there's things that you aren't able to manifest, you're having a hard time, it's frustrating, it's taking much longer than you anticipated. One of the culprits can be your nervous system, that you're moving into fight or flight, you're moving into anxiety. And so it's very difficult to manifest when your autonomic system is in that vibration. You're sending mixed messages. You're saying, I want it, but I'm terrified of it. I want it, but I'm scared it's never going to happen. So you're not really producing a biorhythm that's consistent enough for the universe to return to you in the physical form what you're asking for. This is why it's so critical to learn self-nurturing, to love yourself, to learn how to talk to yourself and calm yourself down and tell yourself that you're safe. It's very important to make sure that your autonomic system is calm, peaceful. When you're exploring that final feeling of what it would feel like, your autonomic system needs to participate in it. So that's kind of what trips people up or delays that thing that we want to manifest as we move into fight or flight. We get scared, we lower our vibration. So please work on your frequency and your autonomic system. Allow them to collaborate and come together to work on your behalf, because that's their job. That's their job. So I do think one of the things that can happen is that we're afraid of our magnificence. We're afraid of really being seen for who we are. And sometimes we move into anxiety, especially when it comes to career making, creating new career paths. A lot of people are terrified to be seen for who they are, and their autonomic system can get in the way and stop the progression of their manifesting. So that's something to keep in mind, pay attention to, nurture yourself about, love yourself about, calm down your autonomic system. And that's why it's so crucial to be in the vibration that it already happened, not how, what, where, when, or why, but it's already happened. You're in the frequency that it's already happened. And if you can really get into that vibration, it is going to calm you down. It's going to relax you. You're going to be in a different reality. And next thing you know, that thing you want will be in your life. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to the phone lines. These are really voice messages, right, that someone has left on a third party that we use. It makes it so clear, better than the radio station, because radio station could get static. Someone could be in their car. This is just very different. It's really cool, I think. I really like it. I'm very glad that we found that whenever we found that, because it's been a little while. Alrighty.
Hi, Marie. This is Dee from Texas. I'm a big fan of qigong, and I found a qigong master willing to teach me medical qigong without going through the formal training and certification due to my current work and family commitment. So my question is, do you see medical qigong the same as Reiki or
Yes.
energy healing?
Yes.
Do you see me getting to a point where I will be able to help others with medical qigong?
Yes.
I have you considered giving a class or giving some high level points on how we can treat our animals with energy healing? Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Dee. So I don't know if you heard me, but my answer to your questions is yes, 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 yes. In China, medical qigong is used in hospitals, right? So qi means energy. And when we do something like qigong, it is a medical form, an energetic medical form of healing. So yes, I'm a fan. I think it's great. I love medical qigong. I certainly have practiced a few of the animals within that elemental process. So animals are really, like our domestic pets or goats or horses or chickens, they're very open to energy work. You could just lay your hands on them and tell them how beautiful they are and how much you love them, and you're going to be pulsating high vibrational frequency to them. So I think the most important thing when it comes to all creatures on earth is that the humanness of us needs to, and I know you already do this, the humanness within us needs to recognize that these are very intelligent beings, perhaps surpassing some of human intelligence. And so when we treat them as intelligent creatures, I think they're more receptive to us. So just lay your hands on them. Animals love energy work. They're very attracted to it. If you've studied Reiki, you can use those symbols, but you don't have to have a modality to simply lay hands on someone. That's going to create an energy movement right away. Okay. Thank you so much.
Hi, Marie. I'm Rachael, calling from the northwest of England. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is amazing. I lost my grandma a year ago, and
Sorry.
Ever since I've been on this journey that started with this incredible grief. It was beautiful, and it's led to me becoming a Reiki master, and really just sort of, I say master, but master level, but still building the experience. But I'm kind of trying to tap into who I am.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be really direct. I really, really want to see and communicate with dead people.
Great.
It
Great.
moves me. I just love
Great.
it. I have
Great.
had experiences, but I don't know. Just to heal and to tap into that spiritual side of me that I know is there. I used to be a midwife.
Oh, wow.
I work for public health.
Wow.
By day, but outside of work and being a mom, this is just what I want to do. This is me. It sings. I need to do it, and I think I just mostly want to say thank you to you, because you've been a huge part past year, to the point where like the journey that I'm on seems to have rippled out, and my relationships around me have changed. People around me are happier as well. I'm happier.
Yay.
I mean, there's just so much that's gone into it anyway, but I guess, yeah. So my question is, do I have a natural gift? Am I on the right path? What should I focus on? Am I a medium? Am I a psychic? Am I a healer? Am I any of these things? Should I just be doing maths in an office somewhere?
No. No office work, no.
I have so many questions about what you teach. I really do, but I think that the one that speaks to my heart most is, do I have a natural gift? Which one is it? How do I do it? Anyway, I love the teachings. I really do. They've changed my life. Thank you for everything. And I really hope I get to hear this. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm sorry about your grandma leaving. You know, it's so interesting because people are living longer. Because when my grandparents passed on both sides, first of all, they didn't live close to me, so I wasn't that close to them. I remember them very fondly, even though I wasn't really that emotionally close to them. But they died like in their 60s, maybe their 70s. So at least in the United States, people would die like after they retired. And now that's not happening. People are living longer and longer and healthier and healthier. And so we have these deep, enriched relationships between grandchildren and grandparents, which is really, really cool. And people want to live closer to the grandchildren. Myself and my children's father, we live the closest to the grandkids, the majority that live in Seattle. I do have a daughter and a son-in-law and 2 grandchildren that live in North Carolina, and his parents have passed. So we're kind of it, if you will. But one of my son-in-law's parents who live in Florida, they fly in, I mean, several times a year to participate in like preschool graduations and ballet performances. It's just adorable. And then my other daughter's in-laws purchased a second home in Seattle. And so they're starting to spend more time here. Eventually, I think they'll move here. So it's just lovely to see people have these incredible bonds, you know, skipping a generation. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. So I'm sorry that your grandmother crossed. I'm so happy you had an endearing, loving relationship with her. I think that's a blessing. And she reports that this grief that you felt isn't it just about her, which I think is really true. I think a lot of people, when they have a grief moment, an authentic one, and just, you know, they're all authentic, the real grief ones. There's a lot of people who stay in grief that's not even real for them because their mind tells them, you should still be upset about this, and they're not. That the universe, when we're in an authentic flow of grief, will just dump things from even past lives that we could wash out of our system while we're in this authentic grief. So that's very cool. It's very healthy and powerful that you allowed yourself to have this situation. So your grandmother liked the grief, but she's aware. She was aware before she even left her body. Being a midwife is so cool because, you know, you're catching babies as they've left heaven, because I believe a lot of souls don't drop into their physical form until birth. So souls don't enter wombs until the time of birth, most of them, because they're like, you know, some souls want to be in a womb during the developmental process. And typically when we see a large percentage of that, it's when the soul won't be able to come through. Like that person's going to end the pregnancy, or they're going to have a miscarriage, or, you know, something of that nature, for all kinds of very good, wonderful reasons, by the way. But most souls don't enter until birth, or a few days before, maybe a week before. Their energy nestles into the fetus, to the baby that's going to be coming out. So you're literally catching someone from the other side. And now you want to talk to people who are crossing over to the other side. And I always think when people cross over, they're actually going to come across a great celebration. There are so many beings on the other side from, you know, this lifetime that we're experiencing, but from other lifetimes, people that we've maybe known for centuries or we haven't seen in centuries, because the knowingness you have in the other side is really quite large. You have an awareness of all kinds of beings that you have a connection with, moving from one dimension to to the next, that you have a strong consciousness when you're out of a physical form. And so there's like a baby shower, the opposite of a baby shower, if you will, but it's like a baby shower when souls cross over. There's a celebration, there's a party, it's a homecoming, truly a homecoming. So I personally, this is just my personal belief, because I think it's weird when psychics to be able to communicate to people on the other side, or to talk to a body, or be a healer, or whatever you want to call it. That's psychic. You're psychic, which means you're intuitive. That's what that means. And I think it's weird when people work so hard just to be one thing. I think you need to be free in your psychic energy, because it's not uncommon for mediums to become energy workers or start to give medical advice during a mediumship reading to the people they're communicating with. Just like I wasn't planning on being a medium. I didn't have, thank goodness, a set rule about who I am. I still don't. I think it's better to move. I like to think I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to assume that I know what I'm doing, because I want to be able to do more and to expand, if that is what is in my highest good, into different realms of knowingness and consciousness and realities. I want that. That makes me very, very happy. So why can't you be all of these things? And if for some reason one thing brings you, awareness, then you can focus on that one. But don't be surprised if other things start to open up for you. Even though I can communicate to animals, it doesn't bring me the greatest joy. I'm deeply in love with the human race. And of course, I'm one person. So I think if I had a list of, now I'm seeing, the animal world, I would just probably be a little bit too busy. So always follow what brings you joy. And it sounds like you want to talk to dead people. So let's go for it. That means you want to move into that manifesting energy that I spoke about at the beginning of this podcast. You want to feel it's already happened. You already have a great practice. You're already a phenomenal medium. And I always think people should feel in high vibrational terms. My mom used to say, because she always worried about wealth and resources. It was kind of her thing. And unfortunately, she spoke about it out loud, which I don't recommend people to speak negatively out loud about something they don't want. Yeah, that's kind of a energetic rule. You want to avoid it, change your language. And in her worry, she would say, well, I guess everything will be okay. And I just hated that phrase. I wish that she would say, everything's going to work out phenomenally. Right. So if there's something you're manifesting, you want to be in that high frequency, reach for the highest vibration of your capabilities. Feel as if you've already approached all these wonderful things. I think it makes perfect sense that you've been a midwife and now you're a medium. Makes perfect sense to me. It sounds great. So yes, you have these gifts. Humans are supposed to be waking up to their multisensory abilities, and humans who have desires to have these, authentic desires to have these, that means they have all the capacity inside of them already. Okay. So yay. I think that's great. Yay.
Hi, Marie. My name's Jessica. I'm from very rural Ohio.
Very rural. Okay.
And I've been listening to your podcast for a couple of months now. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
It's given me a lot of tips and tricks that I get to sort of apply to my life to enhance all this beauty I get to experience, especially right now when we're buried under about a foot of snow.
Ooh.
But there's one area in my life that's sort of been a thorn in my side, and I can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah.
Even when I try not to think about it.
Career.
I was wondering if you could just give me your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's career related. I am a public school teacher. I've been a public school teacher for over 10 years. I have a lot of education. I put a lot of time into this. And I, financially am comfortable at the moment. And I have a good retirement set up and good health insurance and all this security. But it doesn't really light my life on fire. I get some joy out of it, and I do enjoy working with other people's kids, but it can be draining and it can be very tiring and it can seem like something you can't ever master.
Yeah.
So I have all these other thoughts and ideas of things I might want to do with my life that bring me far more joy than teaching. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of them, and I don't know which one to pick. And I'm sort of impatient and waiting for a door to open. So I was wondering if you could give me your thoughts on that, what you think, which direction I should head, or maybe I should just stay put.
No,
And just
I don't think that.
spend the summers I have off working on little hobbies here and there.
And that's an option.
Perspective instead of change my career. I don't know. Just your thoughts would be great. Last thing, if you see my dad, tell him I said hi. I appreciate everything you do and hope you have a wonderful winter season and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jessica. First and foremost, you've already been shown. Remember, everything is being communicated to us through vibration and frequency. You've already been shown that this career path is not meant to move forward. You have free will. Everyone does. They get to do whatever they want. I mean, this is the truth. This is a universal law. Free will is the strongest law in the universe. So everybody gets to do what they want. But when we feel a drain in our energy, that's the universe communicating to us. It's saying, something else to do. For a while, because I used to see a lot of people in my one-to-one sessions, I felt drained. And you're not supposed to feel drained when you're doing something that you're in alignment with. You're supposed to feel energized. And so I whittled away my client list as much as possible. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before. I typically don't feel cancellations if I get one. And, I think sometimes all of us, no matter what we do in the world, when we're good at something, we think, well, I'm supposed to do this because I'm providing a service. Just like you're an excellent teacher, you're well educated, you can give the students what they need, which is all true. But if you're feeling drained, that's the universe going, like there's something else for you to do. And so you want to respect that. It doesn't mean you have to change everything tomorrow, but you need to respect that and honor that instead of being annoyed with yourself that, I just need to continue on this road. Also, it's important to remember that wealth and career are two separate energies. Yes, they can, come together and we can gain wealth through our careers. But once you establish a high frequency and the vibration of wealth, it really doesn't matter what you do for a living. It just doesn't. You're always going to have enough resources, whether you create it through work or other things that provide resources for you. So I know everybody's heard me talk about finding things that make you feel happy and creating memories about those, and then go back to that experience when you're interacting with wealth, because it is a separate energy than career. Career is about natural gifts and talents. Wealth is about wealth. They're very different. And so humans tend to mix them up and say that they have to work together. So like we can't have wealth unless we do these certain things. And that's not true. I think it's lovely that you have a great retirement. I think it's lovely that you're making beautiful money. I think that's all lovely and you have your summers free. It's good to have something positive in your career sector in the moment while you start to create something different. I think you're a great teacher. And I mean that regardless of what you teach. And I have an idea for one thing to do, but I think whatever you're going to do is metaphysical. That's what makes you happy. Everybody has to just pay attention to what brings them joy. Like I started doing power sessions recently. They're different. People leave a voice message kind of like this, but longer. And I ask that they focus. Not everybody listens to my instructions, but I ask that you focus on an area. And they make me so happy. It brings me so much joy. So I'm grateful that, as I've reduced my one-on-one sessions and I've come to an understanding now of how many people I will see in a month, which is not a lot. And I may even reduce that further because I think our energy is so important, and that when it fluctuates, we need to listen to it. We need to honor it. We need to follow it because there's other things for us to do that are going to be more rewarding, more helpful, more beneficial for everyone, not just ourselves, but for everyone. But it would be kind of cool if you wanted to, if you felt excited about this, to make an online school. You don't have to teach in it. Maybe you hire teachers, because I kind of think, and I don't know about rural America, but I kind of think that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want to have their kids learn from home. for shorter periods of time, maybe because of some of the violence we still experience here in the United States. It's kind of weird thing that our kids are having to think about. It's very bizarre. But consider making an online school. That could be a form of wealth that you create, even though you don't teach. You don't have to teach. You create it, you run it. I think that's a great idea. But what you would do in a career path that would be very fulfilling for you will be metaphysical. It will be. And it could be about teaching. It could be about writing. It could be both things. Remember, we don't have to pigeonhole ourselves into one facet of metaphysics. Okay. Oh, and your dad says, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. He's on the other side. He sees how quick time goes by, and he wishes himself that he didn't get caught up in, limitations created by our brain that have nothing to do with truth. So just go for it. Go for it. Okay. And just remember, you have free will. You get to do whatever you want. You will always be loved and cherished no matter what you do. Seriously.
Hi, I have had a very fulfilling career in the last 16 years, and now I'm guided to transition. I believe it's towards healing, and I would love to know more from my angels or guides if they have any messages for me. I have called in the past, and you told me I have 48 angels / guides,
Cool.
and just wondering, what does that mean for me? Am I able to tap into any of their qualities, or what does that mean for me, I guess? And also, are there any past lives of mine where I've been a healer that I can tap into? Because I'm a makeup artist, and going to a healer, it's pretty different. And I'm ready to hear and anything that you have to say and they have to say. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You are definitely a light in this world. Thank you.
Thank you. As are you. We all are, truly. Older soul types are incredible light workers on the planet. So 48 guys. So I use numerology because it makes sense when we get down to a single digit. So 4 + 8 = 12. 1 + 2 = 3. So the number for you is 3. That's what your guide group means. And it means you're an excellent nurturer. You're great at nurturing. So of course you can work in the field of energy medicine, consciousness, awareness, mediumship, whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. 48 guides, what a blessing to have that many. I only have 3, but we do have the same vibrational number, right? It means you have a lot of help and support from your natural guide group all the time in your life. Constantly, you have this group of beings who are there to assist you in everything that you want. The best way to kind of get some of their attributes, an idea of them, is learning to meditate. I think it's a power move to calm down and quiet the mind. I really do. And at the same time, raising your vibration. So sitting and closing your eyes, if that form of meditation raises your vibration, excellent. It could be walking in nature. It could be doing slow yoga. It could be running around the house for a few minutes and getting your energy elevated, and then just feeling the buzz in your body after doing that. There's no correct way on how to meditate. What we're really looking for in meditation is this power move of quieting the mind. And then you might hear your guides. Like, this is normal. It's normal to hear, see, and feel the multisensory world. We're just helping humanity to raise their vibration. And I happen to be one of the teachers on the planet that helps people to do these things. The funny thing is, it's actually a very simple act. People think it needs to be a lot more complicated than the suggestions that I give. And so that's why people don't always do it. I belong to a manifesting group. We meet once a month. And I've been talking to my manifesting group about encaustic art for over a year now. And it wasn't till just recently we were at my house, and it came up again. It just would not go away. And I actually have to go back and make some. I need to get back into that other creative type energy. And I have encaustic art all over my house that I've made, everywhere. And so I just pulled some off the wall, and I was showing it to them. They go, what? Like, I guess they didn't quite get it, or they didn't investigate it, which is perfectly fine. Nobody has to do anything, right? Everybody's on their own path. But it finally clicked for them. And when I talked about how to do it, they go, wow, it may look complicated, but I think it's pretty simple and it's really beautiful. It's layered. It's layered. You can use acrylics on it. You can use ink on it, use all these tools to melt the wax to get it to formulate in certain patterns. It's really an amazing art form. So sometimes people hold back because they won't investigate it. So your job is to start to investigate these things, start meditating, ask. And whenever you talk to the universe, when you're asking for something, you ask it in gratitude as if it's already happened. Thank you so much for allowing me to easily hear, see, or feel and communicate with my spirit guides and get all the information I need. If you just start saying that out loud, first thing in the morning, before your brain's had time to distract you or to tell you that's not going to work or whatever ridiculous thing it comes up with, you're going to be in that place. You're going to be in that frequency. You're going to be in that vibration. And once you start to have some qualifying factors about your guides, I want you to know one thing that's really important. Guides are emanating precious aspects of yourself. So I didn't really know I was as spiritual as I am, although it was obvious when I look at it. I was reading books early on in my life that had a lot to do with spirituality. But one of my guides, who looks like Sean Connery, he does, he wears this burlap robe that's really itchy. It looks terrible, but he looks like a Jesuit priest. And he walks with that slow confidence and that incredible awareness, like he's so present, which makes us very powerful when we visit the present moment or become curious about it often. And I asked him one day, and this was years ago, I said, why are you wearing that really scratchy, ugly robe? And he said, because you're a lot more spiritual, my dear, than you know. So your guides, whether it's if you're visual, you start to see something, you feel something, you hear something, they're emanating to you who you are. That's their job. They have already studied everything about you before you reincarnated into this physical reality. And that's their job, is to share with you who you are, to experience through images or feelings who you are, who you're meant to become. That's their job, one of their primary jobs. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Thank you.
Hi, Marie. Thank you so much for taking my question. My name is Carrie. I'm in Boston. So my question is, I'll try to keep it pretty simple and quick. My question is in regards to a couple of things. Number one, my energy level. It's actually always been pretty low, and I don't seem to have a lot of stamina. And occasionally I feel pretty good for part of the day, and then I just completely lose stamina. I would say this has been going on since my 20s, and I'm now 54. And it really affects my life on a day-to-day basis. I am starting a new business as a real estate agent. Not sure if that is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, but for that, I do need a lot of energy and stamina. So I was wondering if you could just help me with that, please. And my other question is, it's sort of related, I think. I have had this pain that's pretty constant, and in my bladder, pelvic area. I have had this since my early 20s, I believe, maybe late 20s. And I've been told I have interstitial cystitis, and I've seen pictures of lesions on my bladder. I don't know if that's really it, though. And I don't know, maybe hormones are making it worse now that I'm in my 50s and in perimenopause. But this pain, it's 24 hours a day.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm constantly running to the ladies' room. So that's also obviously affecting my life to a huge degree. And so, any insight that you have
Sure.
for me, advice, or anything I can do, I would greatly appreciate this. And again, thank you so much for your time. And I love your podcast and love everything you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. I hope you have fun in the real estate world. So I can see why you might feel fatigued because you tend to contract your chakras. So you're an empath, you're an older soul type. Your heart chakra should fill your entire chest cavity, and it's smaller than that. It's not as small as a younger soul, which is about 2.5 inches in diameter. Yours is bigger than that, but you tend to contract it, and you also leak your life force out of the back of your heart chakra. So you're not good at receiving. You're not good at letting people help you. The bladder is all about fear. So that could be why you contract. I think you have a lot of fear in your body. Maybe you listen to your mind, analyze and process. That creates a lot of fear for people, puts people in fight or flight. I would love it if you start saying to yourself, what if I'm safe? What if I'm safe? I don't want you to analyze that. I don't want you to try to figure out what that means at all. I just want you to start repeating that. You can do it silently throughout the day so that we can start to get your subatomic particles moving in a different place so we can get your bladder not being affected. The bladder is all about fear when it has issues because it's connected to the kidneys and the adrenal glands, which is all about fear too when people have issues in that part of their body. And you're going to need to learn to let people love you and help you. And if you could visualize or feel or see energy moving into your back, your upper back, not through your body, just in, and tell yourself you're safe while you're receiving, that would be great. Chakras 5 through 2. So if we were looking at the bottom, which, that's where chakras begin. Number 1, you're taking in tons of energy. That's great. You're really grounded. But 2, 3, 4, and 5 just aren't taking in a lot of energy. I don't see a leak in 5, 3, or 2 like I do in 4, but they're slightly small and they're not receiving. There's not a lot of movement in your chakra system. So that's probably why you get tired. I would have your testosterone checked, all your hormones really, but testosterone helps with the pelvic floor because it feeds muscles. And of course, if you take hormones, if you decide to take them, only bioidentical is what I recommend. For women in the United States, we can only take bioidentical, which I think is a win-win. Not all practitioners think that way, but I do. I think it's a win-win. And then only some practitioners are licensed to prescribe testosterone because for women, it's considered a controlled substance. Crazy. When I was traveling to Ireland this summer, because I was going to take my hormones with me, I wanted to make sure that if there were requirements in Ireland that I, follow their rules as I go through customs. And so I checked on testosterone. It is not a scheduled drug in Ireland for women or for anyone, which is really quite interesting. So that's what you need to work on fear, releasing it, not letting that be and you may not think you're afraid, but I can tell you energetically you are. And that's how we can get your bladder to heal. I would consider taking hormones if they're low and it's recommended. So that means you don't go to a practitioner who thinks it's okay to have low hormones as you age. It doesn't mean that we want to have our hormones in our 20s, but maybe in our 40s, maybe our 30s. I don't know, but it's not okay that they're low. It's not okay for anyone or for most people. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the show. I have classes coming up on my own platform. So go to energyintuitive.com. You can look at the classes I have coming up. I have a self-love class coming up. It's an 8-week class. I have a 12-week class on preventing and healing disease. Should be really fun. It's a coaching program. I also will be teaching on the Shift Network, also beginning in the fall. We'll let you know when you can register for that class. It'll be coming up soon. We'll send out email information through our Constant Contact. So that class will be about translating medical intuitive knowledge. Won't that be fun? Okay, all my love to you all. Thank you so much. I'm recording this on September 14th in the Pacific Northwest. Bye-bye for now.